الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبارئ الخلائق أجمعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد وقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقالوا ربنا أطعنا سادتنا وكبراءنا فأضلونا السبيل ربنا آتهم ضعفين من العذاب والعنهم لعنا كبيرا آمين صدق الله العظيم. Dear children, sisters and brothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have come across dua kitabs and they say all the Rabbanas, Rabbana, Rabbana. That means we are directly supplicating to Allah. Atina fid dunya hasana, Rabbana zalamna anfusana, Rabbana and Rabbana. This one never comes in. And today, if you see, and Egypt is a glaring factor in our lives if you have seen the deposition of Muhammad Mursi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lengthen his life and give him safety and security and victory. Ameen. I'm going to come to the meaning of this, but first let me give you a background. You saw the Shaykh al-Azhar was sitting there to depose him. We call them rented ulama. Dinuhum dinaruhum. The deen is dinar. Isa Nabi, Musa Nabi, sabse bada paisa. Money, money, money. When I was in Egypt, there was one guy called Al-Rahman, friend of Nasir. I ran away from the Azhar. There is an interview of me on ITV where I said I ran away from there because they signed all the documents, hanged the Ikhwan, killed the Ikhwan, rented ulama. In from the highest institution, we say Azhar is our greatest Islamic institution. When Muhammad Asad, Leopold West, the translator of the Quran, met the great Shah Maraghi, he was praising Al-Azhar. I should have brought the cutting here and read it to you. So Maraghi said Azhar forgot to produce the great ulama and revolutionists long ago. You see those students there? And I was one of them when I went. I walk up and down and by heart all the words. He said, they are like the cows of India. They chew up every page that they can, understanding nothing. They read and repeat, read and repeat. Come on, where are they? I mean, which great alim of the Azhar has shone in the world? I don't mean people like Qardawi and others, and they also do not know English, because English is the #1 language of the world, whether you like it or not. The #1 language of the Muslim is Arabic, but of the world, and you have to be realistic. Man ta'allama lughata qawmin amina min sharrihim. He who knows the language of a people is safe from all their evils, machinations, and devilry. Yes, we do not know. The Shaykh al-Azhar, if the Pope insulted our dear and beloved Nabi Muhammadur Rasulullah, after 10 days he finds out what happened, and he has hardly given a reply to the Pope. He doesn't know. He does his type of work according to the government. They do it. And therefore, we have become sheepish, like the Quran says, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ حُمِّلُوا التَّوْرَاةَ كَمَثَلِ الْحِمَارِ يَحْمِلُ أَسْفَارًا. Those people who carry the Torah, the Jews, are like donkeys and asses who carry loads of books. What is the greatest book in creation? The Holy Quran. It should be the best book, and aren't we the donkeys that carry this Quran like asses and donkeys, worse than the Jews. Really. Same thing. We only look at the Jews, not us. Not us. So here, the prelude to this dua, and we do not read, and it is a dua in the Quran, the Rabbana, one of the Rabbanas. And before it starts, it says, Ya laytana ata'na Allah wa ata'na al-Rasulah. When you go on Qiyamah Day and you will be arraigned before Allah, you say, oh Allah, was it not right that we should have obeyed you and obeyed the Rasul? But what did we do? ربنا وقالوا ربنا أطعنا سادتنا وكبرانا. Oh Allah, we have followed and obeyed our great ones and our leaders. فَأَضَلُّونَ السَّبِيلَ. They are the ones that have misguided us. رَبَّنَا آتِهِمْ ضِعْفَيْنِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ وَالْعَنْهُمْ لَعْنًا كَبِيرًا. Oh Allah, give them double the punishment and send your greatest curse on them. Ameen. This is Rabbana. Nobody puts this Rabbana. And today when you look at the Muslim world, as I said, starting in Egypt, and before that there was a guy by the name of Tantawi. He was the Shaykh al-Azhar, Mubarak's back pocket, maybe tiki pocket person, embracing Shimon Peres, the Yahud, the Kafir. Will your Rasul allow you to embrace Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab? Yes, Shaykh al-Azhar. Come on, I saw the pictures. Come on. Come on. Stand up and say I'm telling a lie. So these are the people right on the top. Premier institution of the Muslims, the heads are those who are misguiding us and causing us to go astray. And as I say, it's only in July. See the Shaykh al-Azhar sitting there and deposing Muhammad Mursi. May Allah give him victory, and may Allah lengthen his life with the blessings that are the choicest. So, who are these people? Who are these people claiming to be somebody? Always, we say Maulana. We know Maulana is only Allah. They play with language, because only once in the Quran when Maulana is used together, Anta Maulana fansurna ala al-qawmi al-kafirin. You are our protector, Allah. You alone. So we call everybody Maulana. You know, I stopped using Maulana for even Rasulullah. I stopped. Because this Maulana, he was caught with this boy. This Maulana was caught with that boy. It was in the newspapers in Springs, man. And how can you use the same term that they use for this child abuser for my Nabi? I don't call Rasulullah Maulana anymore. Because how can I put the two things together? Na'udhu billah. Death of me. If I can. When I say Maulana, I think of that guy in Springs whom they wanted to kill for abusing little kids. So, they think that there are angels. Nobody, there is no priesthood in Islam. No priesthood. Priest, go in and see the meaning of priest in Arabic. Kahin, soothsayer. Muslims got no priests. No priest. Every Muslim is a government into himself. He is a state and a country, an independent country. He depends on Allah and His Rasul, and the constitution is his. He is supposed to apply it, not anybody for him. You go to ask about constitution and about everything, you go to a place and you tell these so-called learned theologians, what must we do? They don't even know what is in the constitution of the Quran. You remember when in the 60s when a great top volume manufacturing head of Deoband came here and they asked him about interest. He didn't go to the local mufti or the mufti of Natal because he doesn't care a crap happens for them. He decided himself. And we got a fatwa. I should have brought it with me. Not only interest is haram in this Darul Harb, but also gambling. One free for you, man. You ask me for one, I give you one free. You know, you must have walked through 14th Street and saw that put in and Ukrainian free. Buy one and get one free. So we asked him, so I also can do that. You ask me for interest, I say gambling also is haram. Come on. You know, this is it. So that is why this dua is in the Quran and we have to read it. رَبَّنَا أَطَعْنَا سَادَتَنَا وَكُبَرَاءَنَا فَأَضَلُّونَ السَّبِيلَ. They have caused all this disunity amongst us, discord amongst us. Instead of looking for points of unity, there are more points of unity than disunity. The things that disunite us are few and far between. They stand out like sore thumbs. Cut that thumb out. Unite yourself. Islam is unity. Allah wants unity, but you'll always find this one saying this one saying that. And the greatest book, the only book fully, totally against priesthood is the Holy Quran. The only book. Because they have pushed in things in order to establish this priesthood. Like the Persians, the Majus, and the Catholics, and the Jews. We have got no priesthood. If there was priesthood, let me tell you, and this book frees you, Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens, Christian, and loving life, drugging, smoking. One day his brother came from Jerusalem and then bought him a Quran without tafsir, nobody's idea, only plain meaning. Gave it to him. By the time he finished reading it, over months and months, he looked for the first Muslim and declared, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasul. He looked at it and read it. He was free from his Christian priest and he was free from even the Muslim priests. Because he knows that this is the book. So now these people, there are some people come and say, 100 hadiths of Tabari, 100 hadiths of those, 100. What hadiths did he know? He didn't even, unfortunately, they may not have had even wuzu on because he doesn't know. He wasn't in a state of tahara perhaps. But when he read this, he said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasul. Now all these guys that talk here and say, 100 this and 100 that, you may go wrong, you may walk out of the pale of Islam. And Islam is not your father's man. Allah looks for every little excuse to accept you, not to. Allah is not a kafir maker like you. He wants the people to remain Muslims. The slightest excuse he looks for so that you can go into Jannah. That is by Ghafurur Rahim. He's not sitting there with a shambaka, your pants are not right there. Look at the size of your feet, I'm going to knock you into Jannah. That is not my Lord. Not my Lord. Wallahi, wallahi, wallahi. He describes in them, and it is reported that will a mother put his child into the fire? Of course, how can what do you think of Allah? The love of Allah is like the love of the mother. Will He put you into the fire? Will He? Is He going to enjoy putting you into the fire? So that is Ghafur Rahim, Rahman Rahim. But here we have hellfire Muslims, hellfire for you, hellfire. There was one colonel here. Hellfire is called hellfire colonel. Everybody go to hell. But he got hellfire chili powder in if you want to taste it in the world. So this is what it is. Now this is not only use of Islam. There was this professor of mathematics, he's of the Nevada University, called Jeffrey Lang. Atheist. So, one Saturday he was lost. He couldn't go anywhere, so he was sitting at his house and he looked into the bookcase, the Quran. Take it out. Sounds funny. What can the Quran? Started reading. Now what he believed, what is wrong with this God and Allah of yours or whoever it is, that He has made this one blind, this one rich, this one poor, this one sick, and this one lame. Couldn't He make a perfect generation? So he started reading the Quran. And he's a proper professor of mathematics, not like us, we read, as if, really, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Read means to understand. Go into any language, read it. Go to the Oxford Dictionary and ask, see what's the meaning of read. If I give you Italian newspapers, I can't read, you throw it away. Or I give you just now German newspapers, I can't read. But no, Quran I can read. What you reading? وَرَتِّلِ الْحَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ. The true way of reading it, Allah says. Come on, ask us, this is the true way. Let some non-Muslim ask, what have you read now? Don't know. So many Egyptians, you ask them in the plaza, they're reading in Ramadan, what do you read? Don't know. Because they are in the Ammi, the colloquial language, and they also all have taken our way of just reading without understanding. And otherwise, if I'm going to get a job in Dubai, tomorrow I will know Arabic language, yes. You see, money. I will buy. If got Dubai, you will be, I got buying power from Dubai. Then I will learn Arabic. But تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب عليم. That transaction, that business, that job that you get with Allah, you're not interested in talking to Him in His language. So he said, what is this? Sick, this, that, what type of God? So he started reading Surah Al-Baqarah. And he came across the words, Allah tells to the angels, Inni ja'inun fil ardi khalifa. I am putting there a person who is going to be my representative. He says, أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءِ. Are you going to put on this lovely earth that who is going to make mischief and kill people and shed blood? He looked at it. وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. We are always praising your greatness and hymning your glory. We are there, look at it, we are already doing that. We are a perfect generation, no sick, no well, no this, no that. He looks at this verse, before the 40th verse of Surah Al-Baqarah, if you have read it. How did my question get in here? I want this generation. Allah says, I've got that generation, the Malaika. And Allah says, Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know what you do not know. Close the book and look for the man who gave him the Quran and said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasul. Which 500 hadiths and 16,000 subjects and 16 different sciences did he know? Pure atheist. But he asked, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Won't you ponder over the Quran, or are there locks on your hearts? Yes, become a Muslim. And today in America, find out if you know anything. Google and find Jeffrey Lang. See, he goes everywhere in America talking about the Quran and the glory of Islam. An atheist he was. And the Quran did it. Here you say, Quran, you need this. You'll get out of the pain of Islam. You get your father's Islam. Allah's Islam, you look after it. Right? Just like when Abdul Muttalib went to Abraham and told him, I want my camels. He said, are you worried about your camels? I'm going to destroy the Kaaba. He said, as for the camels, they belong to me, you give them back to me. And as for the Kaaba, it belongs to Allah. And Islam belongs to Allah, not your father's or my father's Islam. That we're chucking out everybody. You know the famous kafir makers of South Africa, everything is kufr, kufr. Allah is looking for the slightest excuse to put you into Jannah. And you come in the way. Watch out, you don't fall into that fire, to the Jannah. So we have to be very careful, very careful. And lately, whatever some people have been saying here, you take a person like Yunus Patel, Rahmatullah alayhi Maulvi, we've got his, all these, and he says, I'm from amongst them, and whoever spoke all these things, he is speaking in the circle, he's a nobody. And this is what he says, so he has to answer this. Al-Qalam of August 2011, Yasmin Mehta, one of his murids, said about the renowned Alim's Nasihat. That is the nasihat of Maulvi Yunus Patel Rahmatullah alayhi. One advice he gave me was to read Quran daily with my husband, with English, tafsir, even it's just a page. This great alim says that. Now all these little, sorry to say, twits, they come and tell us no. But they're going to fight here. They can reply to this. And then he says that the Quran will have to come out of our shelves and we have to live it as a guiding business deals, a guiding morals, etiquette and conduct, a guiding politics and in establishing government on earth which will ensure peace, harmony, preservation and fulfillment of human rights, and a guide towards eliminating corruption, oppression, tyranny and every evil from society. This is Yunus Patel describing the Quran. Now these people got to fight amongst themselves, and usually they fight. Like I know, we are fighting the greatest armies of the world. They want to kill us. The drones are killing our children and our wives and wedding parties. So we can't even slaughter chickens and make them halal. The Jabhat Ulama of South Africa. Chickens! They're killing us with tanks and drones, and we are fighting our chickens. We are living on chicken feed or what? Feed yourself on the spirit of the Quran. Throw away this chicken feed and your big wages as being inspectors, halal inspectors. Become halal yourself. Give your life in the way of Allah. This is the occupation. Okay. And then the Jamiat Ulama. I saw this in a big form here, like this. I saw it in one of the mosques. I told Maulvi Bam, I said, I stole it, you must forgive me, and I made it into this size. Because one of my friends was watching and trying to get up to see what is written there in these type of boards. Instead of dishing it up, I'll dish it up. I take 1,000 of this so that my brothers can read what you people have decided on now after so many years. He says the glorious Quran serves as an inspiration to millions of Muslims who regard it as a boundless reservoir of guidance and hope. The Quran shapes our thinking and it determines our values. It provides comfort to the anxious, hope to the despondent, courage to the faint-hearted, faith to the despairing, and direction to the confused. The glorious Quran saves as a fountain of wisdom which nourishes the spirit, the mind and the heart. It is a healing for our broken spirit, a mercy for the believers, and forgiveness for all those sin and are wayward. This is the Jamiat Ulama, there is a step. They themselves now, Alhamdulillah, and they come. Welcome to the club of Muhammadur Rasulullah. Welcome Jamiat, welcome. All of you. Now, the person who talks about fat lot, about how many 100 hadiths and how many 100 that, ask him to answer to his own friends if he's not a member of this Jamiat. So the fact is that you will find people that will keep us away. And that is why the Quran tells us that we don't, all the Rabbanas we want to read, but the Rabbana that affects us most, like someone said, you saw, even in the chicken history, in the chicken saga, I got it from one of the guys, I will take his name, Mufti Ilyas. He met 2 or 3 of the Maulvis of the Sanha group, and they saw his mother and they wanted to hit him. Maulvis. And somebody said, there's honor among thieves. Why is there no honor among Maulvis? Now we do that. Yes, why? Why? They're supposed to be belonging to the same fraternity. Warasatul Anbiya. You are the heirs of the Prophet. A can only be if you do something. Your father can cut you out if you're a drunkard or a kafir. Can't be an heir anymore. So are they really heirs of the Nabi? Are they? Have a look at it. We've got billionaires as ulama, not millionaires. What good do they do to the ummah? Our Rasul, when he died, he had a few pieces of gold. He told Aisha, what have I got? Go and give it away, go and give it away. How can I stand before my Allah with money left? Here we got people who've got billions and billions. And they can't be worried about the ummah, but they want to control the ummah. It's very easy to control the ummah. Write us checks, man, checks. Be Ahle Kitab, be people of the checkbook. Write checks to the Muslims. Be the real Ahle Kitab. So, we are not against them, but We are against anybody who is against the Quran. Anybody. There's a well-known saying, إِذَا فَسَدَ الْعَالِمُ فَسَدَ الْعَالَمُ. If the alim is corrupt, then the generation is corrupt. You saw in Egypt, most of the people don't want Islam. Most of them. King that Abdullah of Saudis, Mursi went to ask him money. He said, no, I can't give you. Because why? You want Islam. Islam says, be a King Abdullah. Because Sayyidul Qum Khadimuhu, the leader of the people, is a slave. I can't be slave. I'm King Abdullah. Can't you say I'm dying also? I've got diabetes, heart, but I am rich. They didn't like it. Most of the Muslims in Egypt you'll find, maybe, even if it's 60% that like Islam, still it is not the majority. Because udkhulu fi silmi kaffa. You want to enter Islam fully, totally, wholly, not half measures. So you can see we don't want. So إِذَا فَسَدَ الْعَالِمُ فَسَدَ الْعَالَمُ. When the alim is corrupt, then the generation is corrupt. In Egypt, who made them like that? Shaykh al-Azhar himself. Embracing the Jew, Abu Lahab of the, not even Abu Lahab, but Khanzir of the highest order. He embraces him and Mubarak to him because Mubarak tells him to do so. Come on. They are rotten to the core, most of them. I don't say all of them. Most of them. But that is why the Ummah is in this state today. Because they are the ones that are corrupt and the leaders. And the only leadership is the leader of Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allama Iqbal told to one alim, Mustafa Badesa Khesh Rakedi Hamaus Garbal Narasidi Tamam Bula Habis. Oh, you big Malvi of Devan, go back to Muhammad Mustafa if you want to be Muslim true. From this path, if you keep afar, there's no difference between Abu Lahab and you. So sometimes the Abu Lahabs are sitting on our head and calling themselves all these funny names. And we call them Maulana. So when we say Sadatana wa Kubara'ana, only Kubara will like to be called Maulana. So they stand themselves that we are the Kubara'ana. We are those great ones that have led you astray. So Allah, we pray again to Him. We pray and seriously we pray because the enemies of the Quran, the enemy of your Rasul are all around. Oh Allah, Ya laytana ata'na sadatana wa kubra'ana. I mean, Ya laytana ata'na Allah wa ata'na Rasulullah. Only if we followed you and your messenger. But what happened? They say, and we have to say, because it is true today in most cases, not every case, because if Allah is going to punish the guilty ones, then He is going to take away the innocent ones, and we know that they are innocent ones. Rabbana, our Lord, Ata'na, we follow Sadatana, our great ones, mighty ones, our Maulanas, our priests, our Maulvis, our sheikhs, wa Kubara'ana, and the great one, Fadalluna Sabila, they led us astray from the path. Rabbana atihim di'fayni min al-azab. Oh Allah, give them double the punishment. Wal'anhum la'nan kabira, and send them your greatest curse, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabi al-kareem. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I quoted from chapter 33, verse 66. You can go look it up yourself, learn it off, and with all the other Rabbanas, write it down. Because our Ummah is in a terrible mess coming from the Kaaba. That monkey, he allows the drones to leave the precincts of the Kaaba to go and kill our brothers in Yemen and other places. So Allah, destroy the enemies of Islam, even if they call themselves Abdullah or any other funny name that they think is theirs. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.